Well, it was round one for the state's gubernatorial candidates as all three major party representatives faced off in their first debate of the year this evening. Tonight's debate took place in Rochester and was broadcast live across the state on public television. One question the candidates were asked was whether they would support an increase in funding for local government aid.
Well, I made local government aid a priority because it's essential to providing the kind of services that people depend upon from their local governments, such as police, fire protection, social services, street plowing, and the like. And the way it's been set up in the state of Minnesota creates municipal governments and sets up the terms by which they can operate. And the way it has been established is there are two main sources of revenue for the local governments of Minnesota. One is the property tax and the other is local government aid. So when you cut local government aid, as the greater Minnesota cities have noted over the last previous decade to when I arrived, there's no choice but for property taxes to be increased and for services to be cut. So we in 13 and 14 increased local government aids, the DFL legislature and myself, and the result was, as was noted, one of the lowest increases in property tax rates in the state, in the nation.
There was an increase in local government aid last year under the all-DFL government that we have, but there was also the largest portion, I believe, that we've ever seen of local government aid going to Minneapolis, and that's at the direct expense of communities in greater Minnesota. And that has been a pretty common theme in the Dayton administration. Greater Minnesota in many ways has become an afterthought in this state. Whether you're looking at where we spend our transportation dollars, whether you're looking at K-12 education funding formulas, whether you're looking at some of the regulations that are killing our farmers and our miners and our loggers in this state, or whether you look at LGA, there's a very metro-centric philosophy at the Capitol right now. I believe in the original intent of LGA, which was to provide for communities that have a low property tax base, the money to provide basic services like roads and bridges, like police and fire and emergency services, like sewer and water. But I think we've moved far, far away from that, and we're directing it now to cities that don't need that help.
The state requires cities to provide services that they don't pay for. So that's been a problem for cities. They don't actually have the funds to pay for the services that they're required, like child protection, that they're required by the state to provide. So in the way that I see it, any service that the state requires.
The most recent poll, a Star Tribune Minnesota poll taken in early September, found Dayton leading Johnson by 45% to 33%.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.